Welcome you back inside the Grand Ballroom here at the Westin on the second floor here in Uptown Charlotte. As you can see, the Blue Devils are with us now for the next 14 minutes or so. We'll ask everybody in the room to once again identify yourself and the agency that you are with, and also identify to whom you are directing your question. We've got microphones rolling on both sides. So with that, who would like the first question in our room today? We're going to go to our left, third row. Middle to the edge there.
It's Jordan Davis for Spectacular Magazine. Coming off of you guys' Final Four run last year and the chemistry you guys exuded in that run, Jeremy, can you talk about being the team captain this year, what it will take leadership-wise to get back there and to capitalize on that success from last year?
Yeah, just that whole Final Four loss, we're going to use, at least me personally, going to use that as motivation coming into this year. I know we got a new group of guys who haven't been through the Duke season, so me being that leader, me being that experienced guy, that third-year guy's got to tell guys what to do, tell guys what not to do, and just lead or set that example.
We're going to move the microphone to the right, towards the back. If you would, JB, raise your hand. Thank you.
How you doing, JB Ricks, Spectrum News 1. This question is for Coach Scheyer. You guys have a tradition of bringing in these top recruits, these top recruiting classes year in and year out, and you've played a huge role in that. But this one seems a little bit different. Like you have 4 5 stars, 4 4 stars. I'm not sure if I've seen you guys bring in a class like this, since you've gotten here. What is different about this one, though, outside of, the massive amount of talent that you're bringing in this year?
With how many guys we lost last year, and I think that's what makes it unique. You lose 8 of our 10 scholarship players, right? And so we brought in 11 new faces. 7 of them happened to be freshmen. Brought in 4 transfers. Jacob was one of them. And the balance, I think, when you look at the guys we brought in, the way they complement one another, the fact that everybody we've brought in, they're about the team first. Of course, they have individual aspirations, that they want to play beyond just at Duke, but I think that's that's allowed them to push each other in practice. I think you look at the versatility of this group. We have a lot of guys that can defend multiple positions, really are positionless on offense. That's how we've played, and that's how we'll continue to play. But I'm just, and end of the day, I'm proud of all these guys, and I'm excited that they believed in the vision that we had. Of course, what Duke basketball stands for and what Duke University is all about, but in the day, I couldn't show them who I am as a head coach. So a lot of it came down to the relationships we built and the trust that we've developed. So I'm proud of the new guys we have. Of course, doesn't mean I'm not proud of the guys coming back, all right? But we're excited about this group and the way it's blended together.
We're going to go next question to your right, second row.
Royal Howell, Carolina Blitz. Coach Scheyer, back at Duke's Media Day, you mentioned the first 2 weeks you wanted to focus strictly on defense for the first 2 weeks. What have you seen since those practices as far as cohesion and just playing together?
It's coming along. Made some really good strides. They've shown up every single day. They've come to work. I think our group is hungry. They've been on a mission, and really at this point in the year, you're trying to develop habits. Trying to develop the mindsets you need to have every single day to have a successful and winning team. And, we're not there yet, of course, but we're on our way there. And we've, the first couple of days they're longer days than they normally are, but we have a lot of work to do in terms of just knowing positioning, where to be, knowing that, all right, if Jacob comes over to help, then Jeremy has to be here to have his back. And so a lot of it has been just drilling positioning and rotations, and we've got a long way to go, but love the start that we've gone off to.
Jacob, from the podium, you being the older guy, what are you bringing to the table through this transfer process?
Yeah, I know. As an older guy, it automatically brings experience. I've been through, high major seasons, mid-major seasons, and that's the mix of our team. So, besides that, I bring me, and with that, I only have one agenda when I'm playing basketball, and that is to win. And then in choosing to come here, I knew that we were on the same accord, and we all have one vision to win. So, like I said, bringing myself and just bringing my best version of myself every day and ready to be coached and win basketball games.
Next question from the floor. Seeing none, Jeremy, from the podium here, it is a little bit different this year, not only the faces of the players, but also the faces of the coaching staff. How have you been dealing with the change, adjusting to the change?
I mean, the change has been very smooth. I mean, me and Coach Shire built that relationship since high school, and to get to this point now, our relationship's at its peak. So I think just this whole transition has been very smooth. I know I have the utmost confidence in Coach Shire. I know he has the utmost confidence in me. So if your leader and your coach are on the same page, I think we're gonna have a successful season.
Next question is going to be right up the aisle, right at the edge.
Connor O'Neill from Devils Illustrated. Coach, I guess I'm asking you to give away your game plan a little bit here, but how do you want the style of play to differ from years past, if you want it to differ at all, or do you want it to look the same?
Yeah, I don't think it's about looking different just to look different, right? It's about who do we have on this year's team, what are our strengths, and then how do we play to those strengths? And, you know, you look at the guys we've brought in, you look at these two guys right here, you know, we want to play fast and we want to push the ball. And, you know, if you look at our championship teams in the past, you know, it starts with defense, and that's why it's the first thing we hit on this fall. You know, that's continued to be a priority for us. We can be an elite defensive team. We have guys, when you're on the floor, that's an expectation, but also we have the capability of doing that. And then on offense, it's about sharing the ball. So to me, it's less about how does it look different as opposed to what's the best offense, what's the best defense, what's the best strategy for this particular team. And it's a different group. So that's what our focus has been on, and let you decide if that's different or the same or whatever that is. And hopefully there are some similarities. That would be a good thing.
Next question will come from the gentleman right behind Connor.
Trayvon Miles, ABC 11 in Raleigh. Jacob, this question is for you. I'm just curious to some of the notable differences you've seen coming from the Big Ten in Illinois and coming over here to ACC country and playing at Duke.
To be fair to both schools, I'm not going to sit up here and just compare them like that. But I've been coached by a bunch of notable coaches, and, you know, I've kind of absorbed what they had to say, and then coming here, you know, it's a little different with a young guy, a younger coach, but seriously, you know, I'll get into the ACC, but coming here has been very seamless, like a lot of respect and openness and like genuineness has been the vibe in terms of transition, which is very wholesome and, you know, puts a lot of the what's going to happen kind of thoughts at ease. And then in terms of comparing the Big Ten to the ACC, we'll have to see. You know, we're pretty focused on like what we have to do in practice every day rather than the spectrum of the ACC. But, you know, every day we're working on ourselves to be our best selves to go into ACC play and win as many games as we can.
Another question from the floor to our left, second row towards the wall.
Matson Montia with the Tiger, and this question is for Jacob. So this is your sixth season of playing college basketball. What's the journey been like going from Holy Cross to Illinois and now Duke?
It's been a blur. It's happened fast, but you know I don't have time right now to look at this part of my journey that I've been on because there's a whole lot left to write, and I'm super excited to have my last season here.
Coach, from the podium, following up on Connor's question of a moment ago, you've got 4 7-footers this year. That's a lot of height on a Duke roster. So play fast, play big?
Well, I think the thing is you look at our roster, you look at our team, I go back to the versatility. We can play big, we can play smaller. When you have Jacob, Mark Mitchell, Derek Whitehead, where you have Kyle Filipowski, you have Derek Lively, who, you know, really to us is as unique of as big as there is in the country. He's not really a big, and you know, we've talked about how to maximize what he can do on the defensive end especially, but that versatility for us is something that we can really use throughout the course of the season.
We're going to get the microphone to the right-hand side, about the 5th row to the right.
Hey, John. Steve Weissman from the News and Observer. You mentioned Derek. He's about 6 weeks into the healing process from his foot injury. How is he doing so far, and how's his progress going?
Yeah, Derek is doing great. He's entering the next phase of his treatment and his rehab of what he's doing. He's able to get on the floor a little bit more, and we're not at a point yet to say exactly when he'll be back, but he's progressing in a great way, and he's working hard, and I know he's anxious to be out here with these guys practicing every day.
Right next to Steve on the right there.
Caroline Darney, USA Today for the win. Jeremy, with so many new faces, and especially as you a returning player, what have been kind of the focus to build some of that chemistry and camaraderie with the new guys? Like, what's the go-to activity for you guys?
I mean, just building that brotherhood. It starts early in the summer when you get there. So I mean, just hanging out at the suite that we have. I mean, going out to movies. With Top Golf, whatever we going out to eat.
Playing defense.
Playing defense. I mean, we're around each other. We're around each other so much that that bond is just going to build, and then we go off after practice. I mean, hang out, maybe get some dinner or something like that. I mean, that's just what builds a great team and great brotherhood.
To the right at the edge.
Doug Dowdy from Roanoke Radio. Could you talk about Coach K's involvement or conversations that you've had to this point? How involved will he be?
Yeah, well, Coach K and I mean, we're as close as can be. I mean, he's been, you know, the relationship you build. You know, I started when I was 16 years old, and of course, this past year, you know, over half my life, he's been my go-to guy. So that's not going to change. What has changed is he's not coaching, right? And so our relationship is as strong as ever. Go to him. We talk about many things beyond basketball, and I don't see that changing anytime. And we're locked in, and he's entering a new phase of his life, and obviously I'm doing the same in mine. But the relationship that we built is not going to change ever.
Other questions from the floor? We've got about 2.5 minutes remaining. Jeremy, question to you. You are the lone captain this year. What does that responsibility mean?
It's a big responsibility, but a big responsibility that I'm ready for. I know my coaches and my teammates have the most confidence in me, but I'm not doing it alone. I have great guys like Coach Shire, Sewell, Jay Lucas, Emil Jefferson, just guys in my ear always helping me out, even the older guys, Max, Kale, Ryan, Jake. So I mean, it's not just me being a captain alone. I mean, I've got guys in my corner helping me out too.
To the right, third row, right on the aisle.
Hey, Jeremy, Dustin Shue from the Devil's Den. Since you've obviously the return from the team, what have you noticed different about Coach Shire since he's moved over a seat from being the assistant to the head coach? I don't know if he's playing more of the bad cop role these days or not.
I mean, I think it's been a smooth transition. I mean, Coach Shire, he's always going to give guys that confidence. I think that's the big thing about Coach Shire. He's going to make you feel comfortable, make you feel confident, and just be who you are whenever you're out there. So I mean, I think the transition has been very smooth, very welcoming.
Duke, thank you very much. Good luck this season.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Folks, Miami is due in the room